If you are looking for the questions with answers from the chapter, A Treat for Mosquitoes, from Class 5 EVS, Chapter 8, then this is the right video for you. This video contains all the possible questions, short questions, questions from exercise of the book, along with the proper answers from this chapter. Let us start. Question 1. Do you know anyone who has had malaria? Answer. Yes. A friend or family member has suffered from malaria with high fever and chills. Question 2. How did they find out that the person had malaria? Answer. They found out through a blood test that showed malarial parasites. Question 3. What are the symptoms of malaria that they had? Answer. The symptoms included high fever with shaking chills, headache, vomiting, body pain, and weakness. Question 4. Why do you think the tank, cooler, and pits are shown in the poster? Answer. The tank, cooler, and pits are shown in the poster because these are common places where water collects and mosquitoes breed. Question 5. What will happen when oil is spread on the water? Answer. When oil is spread on the water, it forms a layer that stops oxygen supply to mosquito larvae and kills them. Question 6. Why do you think it talks about putting fish in the tank? What do you think the fish eats? Answer. It talks about putting fish in the tank because fish eat mosquito larvae and prevent them from growing into adults. Question 7. Which diseases are spread by flies and how? Answer. Dysentery, cholera, typhoid, and anthrax are spread by flies. Flies carry germs on their legs from waste to food. Question 8. Look at the report of the blood test. Which words tell us that the person has malaria? Answer. The words, malarial parasite found in blood, tell us that the person has malaria. Question 9. List ways to prevent mosquito breeding around house, school, neighborhood. Answer. Ways to prevent mosquito breeding include not allowing waterlogging, cleaning coolers and tanks regularly, spraying kerosene or DDT in drains, using fish in ponds to eat larvae, and keeping surroundings clean. Question 10. Mark areas with stagnant water. Example results. Since how many days? Problems caused. Answer. Areas with stagnant water include pot, cooler, tank, gutter, and drains. The water has been stagnant for about a week. It causes dirty areas with more mosquitoes and flies. Question 11. Create poster message. Answer. The poster message is, keep coolers, tanks, drains clean. No water collection, no mosquitoes. Question 12. Can you see algae in or around the water? Answer. Yes, green slimy patches of algae can be seen in or around the water. Question 13. Where else have you seen algae? Answer. Algae have been seen on damp walls, hand pumps, and floors. Question 14. Plants growing in, on water. Names and draw. Answer. Liverworts and mosses are plants growing in or on water. Students should draw them in their notebook. Question 15. Planted or grew on own. Answer. These plants grew on their own. Question 16. What else in water? List. Answer. Larvae, tadpoles, insects, and fish are found in the water. Question 17. How to stop mosquitoes in house, school, neighborhood. How to find if someone has malaria. Answer. Mosquitoes can be stopped by emptying water containers weekly, using nets, spraying oil, and cleaning drains. Malaria is found through a blood test for parasites. Question 18. What is malaria? Answer. Malaria is a disease caused by a parasite. The parasite is spread to humans through the bites of infected mosquitoes. People who have malaria usually feel very sick with a high fever and shaking chills. Question 19. What are the symptoms of malaria? Answer. The main symptom of malaria is high fever with shaking chills. Besides, a general feeling of discomfort, headache, vomiting, diarrhea, and pain in different parts of the body are other symptoms. Question 20. How is blood collected from the body for a medical test? Answer. There are two ways of collecting blood for a medical test. The blood is collected from a vein using an injection syringe when a larger amount is needed. When a little amount of blood is sufficient, the finger is pricked with a needle, and 2 to 3 drops of blood are collected on a glass slide. Question 21. In which season is malaria more common and why? Answer. Malaria is more common in the monsoon season. Mosquitoes lay eggs in stagnant water. During monsoons, rainwater collects and creates favorable breeding places for mosquitoes. That is why the number of mosquitoes increases, raising the chance of malaria. Question 22. Write the diseases which are spread by mosquitoes. Answer. The diseases spread by mosquitoes are malaria, dengue, chikungunya, Zika, yellow fever, and West Nile fever. Question 23. What are the diseases spread by houseflies? Answer. Anthrax, cholera, tuberculosis, leprosy, typhoid, and dysentery are diseases spread by houseflies. Question 24. What is hemoglobin? Answer. Hemoglobin is a protein found in red blood cells that carries oxygen in our body and gives blood its red color. The main function of hemoglobin is transporting oxygen from the lungs to the tissues and facilitating the return transport of carbon dioxide. Question 25. What is anemia? Answer. Anemia is a problem of not having enough healthy red blood cells or hemoglobin to carry oxygen to the body's tissues. It causes tiredness, weakness, and shortness of breath. Question 26. How to prevent malaria? Answer. Malaria spreads through mosquito bites. To prevent it, reduce mosquito numbers and bites by not allowing water to collect around us, cleaning stagnant water from leaves, unused pots, holes, and drains, using mosquito nets and screens on windows and doors, and spraying kerosene on places where water cannot be removed completely, like drains. This destroys mosquito larvae. Question 27. Why should we spray kerosene in stagnant water? Answer. We should spray kerosene in stagnant water because it reduces mosquito breeding. Kerosene forms a layer on water since it does not dissolve. This layer stops oxygen supply to larvae, causing them to die. Question 28. What is the life cycle of a mosquito? Answer. The life cycle of a mosquito has 4 stages. Eggs hatch when exposed to water. Larva is a regular that lives in water and molts several times. Pupa is a comma-shaped body called tumblers that do not feed. Adult flies shortly after emerging once body parts harden. Question 29. What is algae? Answer. Algae are small plants that grow in water. They do not have true roots, stems, or leaves. Question 30. What is the meaning of malaria? Answer. Malaria means bad air. Question 31. Who discovered that mosquitoes spread malaria? Answer. Ronald Ross discovered that mosquitoes spread malaria. For this, he received the Nobel Prize for Medicine in December 1902. Question 32. Why is malaria named so? Answer. In earlier days, this disease was common in swampy, rainy places. People thought poisonous gas from dirty swamps caused it. That is why they named it malaria, meaning bad air. Question 33. How did Ronald Ross discover that malaria was spread by mosquitoes? Answer. Earlier, people thought malaria came from poisonous gas. A doctor found tiny germs in a malaria patient's blood, but no one knew how they got there. Ronald Ross experimented with mosquitoes. He examined thousands of mosquito stomachs under a microscope. One day, he found the same tiny germs in a female mosquito's stomach as in the patient's blood. Thus, he proved mosquitoes spread malaria. Question 34. Name some diseases spread by Anopheles mosquito. Answer. Anopheles mosquitoes transmit malaria and filariasis. Question 35. Name some diseases spread by Culex mosquito. Answer. Culex mosquitoes transmit West Nile fever and encephalitis. Question 36. Name some diseases spread by Aedes mosquito. Answer. Aedes mosquitoes transmit dengue, chikungunya, Zika, and yellow fever. Question 37. Why do mosquitoes breed in stagnant water? Answer. Mosquitoes breed in stagnant water because they lay eggs in still water, which hatches into larvae that live and grow in water. Stagnant water like puddles, coolers, and drains provides the perfect moist place for their eggs and larvae to survive. Question 38. What is the role of female mosquitoes in spreading diseases? Answer. Only female mosquitoes bite humans to get blood for their eggs. They carry parasites from infected people to others during bites, spreading diseases like malaria. Question 39. How can we check for mosquito breeding spots around our home? Answer. We can check for mosquito breeding spots around our home by looking for places with still water such as flower pots, tiles, coolers, buckets, leaves, drains, and puddles. We should empty and dry them every week to stop breeding. Question 40. What does a blood test report tell us about health? Answer. A blood test report tells us about health by showing hemoglobin level, which indicates if there is anemia. Low hemoglobin means fewer red blood cells, causing tiredness from less oxygen. Question 41. Name 2 ways to protect ourselves from mosquito bites inside the house. Answer. 2 ways to protect ourselves from mosquito bites inside the house are sleeping under mosquito nets and using screens on windows and doors. These stop mosquitoes from entering and biting. Question 42. What did doctors observe in malaria patients' blood before Ronald Ross? Answer. Doctors observed tiny germs or parasites in the blood of malaria patients before Ronald Ross, but they did not know how they entered the body. Question 43. Why is iron important in our diet? Answer. Iron is important in our diet because it helps make hemoglobin in red blood cells. Foods like green leaves, jaggery, and meat provide iron to prevent anemia. Question 44. Differentiate between larva and pupa stages of mosquito. Answer. The larva stage is a regular that lives in water, eats, and molts several times. The pupa stage is a comma-shaped tumbler that does not eat but changes into an adult. Question 45. When should we empty water from coolers and pots? Answer. We should empty water from coolers and pots every 7 days, clean them, and dry them completely. This kills mosquito larvae before they become adults. Question 46. What are some foods that help increase hemoglobin? Answer. Green leafy vegetables, jaggery, dates, meat, eggs, and pulses are some foods that help increase hemoglobin because they are rich in iron. Question 47. Fill in the blanks. Malaria spreads by blank mosquitoes. The word malaria comes from blank, meaning bad, blank. Answer. Malaria spreads by Anopheles mosquitoes. The word malaria comes from Italian, meaning bad air. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel to get such videos for all the other chapters. Thank you for watching.